What's up, fellow yogis? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to our 60-minute Vinyasa flow. Beautiful day in the neighborhood today. And we are going to start on our backs today in Supta Baddha Konasana. So that's reclined bound angle. So you'll be on your backs. Palms can be out to the side. Soles of the feet together. Diamond shape in the inner thigh area. Knees pressing down towards the floor. Palms can be facing up, or should you choose, you can have one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And we shall just settle into our mindful meditative breath, our pranayama, our intentional breath. So as you settle in, allow the mind to begin to come to some quietness and calmness. I was reading something earlier. It said while the brain only weighs about 2% of our full body weight in most people, it uses approximately 20% of our oxygen. So when we start our breathing exercises at the beginning of practice each day, and we begin to pay careful attention and focus on our breath, remember the reason that you're doing that is to activate, to flood the brain with oxygen. Alertness, calmness, activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. So if you're doing this class not live, and you choose to skip the breathing portion to save time, remember that you're also skipping that portion where you're feeding your brain. You're feeding your brain oxygen. And without oxygen, there is no life. The breath is life. The breath fosters life. The breath perpetuates life. Your breath now should be calm and relaxed. And the sound of your breath should be quiet and soft. Paying careful attention to any internal dialogue that you may be experiencing at this moment. Stories that you may be telling yourself at this moment. Stories about things in your past, stories about things in your future. It's okay to acknowledge those thoughts. It's okay to accept those thoughts. And it's essential to then let them go. We'll take 2 or 3 more mindful meditative breaths here as we settle into our practice today. And now let's begin to deepen our breath as we move into our Ujjayi breath. Now the sound of your breath is more audible. Texture of your breath is coarse and rough. As you feel the vibration of the air passing over the back of the throat. An oceanic sound, snoring sound. Darth Vader sound. As you begin to build some heat, begin to build some fire, setting yourself up for your practice today. Feeling the breath as it passes over the back of the throat, down the trachea, into the bronchi, into the lungs fully expand, the diaphragm drops in the belly, all on your in-breath. And then your out breath, the diaphragm lifts in the abdominal cavity, placing mechanical pressure on the base of the lungs, forcing the lungs to expel the air back up through the trachea and out again through the nasal cavity. Being grateful for this process, this autonomic process that we don't think about during the course of our life, other than when we're in our pranayama breathing. It may be the only time of the day that we actually think about our breath and pay gratitude towards our ability to breathe. Take 3 final deep Ujjayi breaths, remembering to come back to your Ujjayi breath during your practice when you need that little bit of extra fire in the belly. Final Ujjayi breath. And now let's deepen our breath one last time as we move into our deep cleansing breath. This time, breathe in deeply. Now pause at the top of your breath and hold for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide. Exhale. Steaming a small compact mirror directly in front of your mouth on your exhale. Inhale, fill the belly. Feel the belly rise, feel the belly lift, feel the heart open. Pause. Exhale. Extend the exhale, lengthen the exhale, control your exhale. Make it as long as you possibly can. Get every last bit of air out. Inhale, pause, sip, exhale. Take 3 final cleansing breaths on your own, and I encourage you again to extend the exhale as long as you can, building up strength, building up pulmonary strength. Feeding the brain that oxygen that we talked about earlier. 20% of your oxygen flow going to your brain, opening the brain, activating the brain. Exhale. Final inhalation here. Make it your deepest. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. The eyes blink open. We'll bring the knees up tall. We're going to move into our first posture, a hip opening posture. We'll move in the happy baby. So the knees come up tall. We're going to go to the outside of the feet, or if you can't get there, go to the outside of the ankle. Soles of the feet facing directly towards the ceiling. Elbows to the inside of the knees, bringing the knees out as wide as you possibly can. Ankles directly over the knees. Maybe rock side to side ever so slightly here. Warming up that spine. And then coming to stillness, holding here. And now maybe pulling the soles of the feet towards the earth, bringing the knees closer to the earth, feeling that opening of the hip joint. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Pull down, press out, using your elbows on the knees. And release. We'll bring the arms out to the floor into a T. We'll bend the knees, and we'll take a spinal twist. So we're going to take the knees to the left
and the gaze goes to the right. We'll stack our knees, we'll stack our hips, we'll stack our ankles and feet. Our gaze is to the right hand, pressing the right shoulder into your mat, rotating the cervical spine to the right, maybe bringing the right ear and the right cheek towards the floor. They may not ever get there. So your upper body is torquing to the right, your lower body is torquing to the left. Maybe think about bringing the knees closer to the left shoulder, closing that space. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings the knees up tall. Exhale, knees to the right and gaze goes to the left. Same thing here. Knees are stacked, ankles are stacked, hips are stacked. Your gaze is over your left shoulder into your left palm, rotating the cervical spine to the left, pressing the left shoulder into your mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to center. We'll take a couple spinal rocks here. So let's go. We'll move into a boat pose, into Navasana. Holding on to the back of the hamstrings. And we'll take some spinal rocks. Trying to keep the feet off of the mat. 3 or 4, 3 or 4. And when you've had enough, we'll make our way back into boat pose, Navasana. Maybe pulling the thighs as close to the chest as possible. Holding here. Calves parallel to the floor. Shoulder blades retracted ever so slightly. If you'd like to open up your arms to receive, feel free to do so. If you have it in your practice to straighten your legs, feel free to go there. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring our legs to the floor. Heels come to the floor. We'll take our first forward fold. So let's inhale our arms up tall. Suck the belly button back into the spine, engaging your bandhas, your locks. And then we'll take an exhale. This is a restorative forward fold. So don't worry if you can't get to your toes or to your feet. You can bend your knees should you choose ever so slightly. Maybe go for the shins, maybe go for the ankles. Yogi's choice, whatever is comfortable for you here. Inhale. Exhale, suck that belly button into the spine and fold. Feel that stretch from the bottom of the foot to the back of the calf, the back of the thigh, into the lumbar spine, into the thoracic and cervical spine. Your entire back body stretching here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings us up tall. Let's cross the legs and we'll roll over into tabletop. So in tabletop, our elbows are directly under the shoulders and wrists directly under the elbows. Knees are hip width apart. You can have your toes rolled under or you can have your feet flat. We'll take a couple sets of cow-cat here. Inhale, we drop our belly and gaze up. Your drishti point comes up high. Your drishti point is your focus point. So you're gazing at the junction of the ceiling and the wall. And then on your exhale, chin comes to the chest, press into the palms, dome the spine to the ceiling for cat pose. Inhale takes us into cow. Lumbar extension. Exhale takes us into cat. Spinal flexion. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And now let's make our way onto our forearms. We'll do a couple cow-cats with our forearms on the mat. So when you have your forearms on the mat, we want to make sure that the elbows are directly under the shoulders and that the forearms are parallel to one another. Something that happens a lot is that people have a tendency to allow those elbows to come out. So we want to get those elbows perfectly parallel to one another. Let's take a couple cow-cats from here. So on our inhale, we'll drop our belly and gaze up.
Exhale, pressing into the forearms, chin comes to the chest, spine domes to the ceiling. Touch the ceiling with your middle back. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Now we're going to step the right foot back and then the left foot back, roll the toes under, and we find ourselves in forearm plank. Hold here, lift the hips up ever so slightly. Try not to let the hips curl down towards the mat. Keep the hips up tall, hold. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that core engaging. Inhale. Exhale. Now we drop our hips to the floor, flatten the feet, and we make our way into Sphinx pose. So the arms are staying essentially where they were. We're still parallel. Elbows still directly under the shoulders, and we're gazing up for Sphinx pose, maybe pressing into the top of the feet and maybe lifting the thighs off of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Let's drop our chin to the mat. We're going to bring both arms out wide. And then on our inhale, we're going to lift up into full locust. So legs come up, arms come up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings us back to Sphinx. Exhale, roll the toes under. We're back in forearm plank. Inhale begins to walk the toes in towards the elbows for dolphin pose. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale, we step back to forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, we drop our hips, flatten the feet. We find ourselves back in Sphinx pose. Inhale. Exhale, chin comes to the mat, arms come out wide. Inhale takes us up into full locust. Legs come up, trying to keep the legs together. Inhale. Exhale brings us back to Sphinx. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, roll the toes under into forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, we begin to walk the feet into the elbows for dolphin pose. Hold here for 3, for 2, for 1, and we take a child's pose. So, knees come out wide, maybe the big toes touch one another. Extend the arms out long, bringing the chest, forehead, nose to the floor. And we'll take a quick child's pose here. Final breath in child's pose. And release. We'll roll the toes under here, and let's make our way back into our first down dog. So you can pedal the feet, swivel the hips here. Bend the knees as much as you would like. Maybe bending the knees, bringing the chest towards the thighs. Thinking about bringing the heels towards the floor. They may never get there, and that's okay. Let's roll onto the toes and find ourselves into a high push-up. Exhale brings you back to down dog. Roll forward on the toes into high push-up. You can drop to your knees should you like. Otherwise, low push-up. Exhale, high push-up. And back to down dog. We'll take that one more time. This time we'll do a full vinyasa. Inhale, forward in the high plank. Exhale, you can drop the knees should you choose. Lower down, low push-up. Inhale takes us into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's now bend the knees,
We'll take a quick peek to the top of the mat and either step or hop to the top of the mat, and we'll find ourselves into our first standing forward fold. You can grab your elbows one another here should you choose, sway left to right in ragdoll. Or if you feel pretty flexible already, you can grab your big toes with yoga toe lock, or you can go for your heels, yogi's choice. Holding here, inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, we sweep our arms up tall, palms come together at heart center, hands to the side, mountain pose, Tadasana, resting pose. We'll begin to set up for our sun salutations. So we'll do one sun A and one sun B, and we will add lunges in the middle. One breath, one motion. That's Vinyasa. Follow along. If you get behind, if you get lost, perfectly okay. We will all ultimately meet in down dog. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. We step that right foot back. We're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. We'll take a vinyasa here. You can always come to the knees. Inhale, forward high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up tall. Exhale, bend the knee, step the foot to the top of the mat. Now, knee should be over the ankle. So if it's not, pull your ankle up. Inhale, lifts the heart, drops the hips. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we sweep the arms up tall. We're going to set up for our first back bend. Palms come together, thumbs are crossed, maybe releasing the index fingers. Press down, lift up, hips forward, head drops back, and begin to make your way back. Tracing a straight line on the ceiling towards the wall behind you. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We step the left foot back. We're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Inhale, rolls us forward into high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeps our arms up tall, palms together, releasing the index finger. You've been here once, so now your body knows where to go. Press down, lift up, press forward, drop back. Inhale, exhale, hands come to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose, cleansing breath. Sun salutation B, we will add chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We sweep our fingertips onto the floor and make our way into chair pose. Now you can have your arms up tall or you can have your arms long, yogi's choice.
Hold here. Bring the knees back. Feel like you're falling backwards. Majority of the weight on the back half of the foot. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. If you'd like to take a three-legged vinyasa here, that right leg comes up tall. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lower. Drop the right foot. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we sweep the arms up tall, and we set up for back bend number 3. Final back bend in this sequence, so you can go for it should you choose. Have to readjust my little carpet here. It always gets all smushy. Not sure why. Palms together. Now press down into the feet to lift up tall. Touch the ceiling. Bring the arms back to the ears. Hips come forward. Head drops back. Chest touches the ceiling. Lifting the chest to touch the ceiling. Arms come back towards the ears. Trace a straight line on the ceiling. Find the back wall. Inhale. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We step the left foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Three-legged vinyasa yogis, left leg lifts. Inhale, forward in the high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Left foot drops. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, we fold and sweep our fingertips onto the floor and find our way back in the chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to step that right foot back into a lunge. And now drop that right knee onto the mat and flatten that right foot. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, we take that right elbow over the left knee and take it into a twist. So the right elbow is pressing the left knee across the body. Left elbow pointing towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable here, you can roll the right toes under and lift that right thigh. Inhale. Exhale. If you'd like to open your arms up here, feel free to go there. If you have an arm balance from this posture, feel free to go there. Press the right heel away from your body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Extend that right leg back. And we make our way into lizard lunge. So you're leaning forward on that right thigh, really feeling that right quadriceps and psoas muscle opening and lengthening. You can stay on your palms. If you have a block or a book, you can bring the forearms onto the block or the book. Or should you choose, you can come to the floor on both forearms, but only if both forearms touch the mat together equally. You can play a little bit with your left foot here, maybe going onto the outer edge of that left foot to open up that left hip. And hold. We'll be here for about 5 or 6 breaths. A nice yin posture, lengthening, stretching. Finding that breath, maybe settling into a mindful meditative breath.
Inhale. Exhale. Come to the palms if you're not already there. Roll the right toe under. Step the left foot back to meet it. And take an optional vinyasa flow. Forward in the high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right leg up tall. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. We're going to drop that left foot down now, left knee down, and extend that left leg back. Inhale, brings hands to heart center. Exhale, sink. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, we'll take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee and take our lunging twist. Hands come as close to heart center as possible. Right elbow pointing towards the ceiling. If you are comfortable here, come onto the left toes, lifting that left leg. If you're comfortable here, you can open up the arms, maybe taking a bind behind the back with the right hand. Again, if you have an arm balance here, feel free to go there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot. We extend that left leg back long. And we find our way into lizard lunge on the right. So you can stay on your palms. You can come to your forearms on a block or a book. You can come to your forearms on the floor. Yogi's choice. We'll be here for about 5 or 6 breaths. Calming the breath. Engaging that parasympathetic nervous system. That's the portion of the nervous system that's responsible for calmness and equanimity. Equanimity is mindfulness without judgment. So wherever you are in your practice, practice equanimity. Practice being present, but not judging yourself. Final 2 or 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, come to your palms if you're not already there. Roll the left toes under. Step the right foot back. We're in down dog. And you can take your optional vinyasa. Forward in the high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Child's pose. So I've been dealing with a shoulder injury for the last couple of months. And it's starting to get better. And I know that because the last few days have been the first days in about 2 months that I've been able to do a full chaturanga. Now, why is that important? That's important because years ago, if I was having difficulty doing something like that, I would have plowed through it anyway, regardless of what it felt like. As I have learned, as I have matured, hopefully, some people might not agree with that portion, but I've learned to try to let go of that ego. And that is so important in our yoga practice. When you walk into the yoga room, wherever you may be practicing, in your home, we're starting to do some classes outside now. Leave your ego at the door. Practice wherever you are for that moment, on that day, at that time. That's where your practice is. Accept it without judgment and stay present. That is equanimity. From your child's pose, let's take ourselves back into down dog. We're going to lift that right leg up tall and bend that right knee, stacking the hips. So we're bringing that right heel towards the left glute. That right hip is coming behind you as the left hip rolls under. If you're comfortable here and you'd like to flip your dog, feel free to do so. Right arm extending out long above your head. Chest towards the ceiling. Hips lifting up tall. Beautiful bridge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We'll bring that right arm back. Right leg comes back into three-legged down dog. We're going to move in the fallen triangle. So we're going to take that right leg, shoot it through. Both legs are straight. You're pressing down into the right palm. Left arm comes up tall. Both legs are straight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We make our way back into three-legged down dog. We're going to move into half pigeon. So let's take that right knee. We're going to bring that right knee behind the right wrist. The right ankle behind the left wrist. Extend the left leg back long. Now take your fingertips and tent them into your mat. And then press yourself up into a slight back bend here. Gazing upward. If you are comfortable here, left palm comes down. Reach around with the right hand. Maybe grab the left foot, bending that left knee. Bringing that left heel towards the glute. Getting a good quadricep stretch on the left. You may not get close to the glute. That's okay. Get as close as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release that left foot. Tent the fingertips one more time. Inhale, grow tall. And then exhale, make your way down into sleeping pigeon. So that right leg, the shin of the right leg, is as close to parallel to the top of your mat as possible. You're extending the left leg back long with your feet flat. So you're stretching out that left thigh. And then bringing the chest towards the floor. You can extend your arms out long should you choose. This is a hip opener on the right side and a thigh opener on the left side, also working on the shoulders. And we'll settle in here for about 5 to 6 breaths. Maybe the forehead comes to the floor. Again, being aware of your internal dialogue when we're in these postures for a little bit longer length of time. Sometimes the mind has a tendency to wander and to leave us. Bring it back. Come back to the breath. If you lose your concentration, try working on a 3-breath pattern to come back. Breath number 1, focus solely on your breath. Breath number 2, focus solely on your immediate environment. What's the temperature feel like? What are the sounds? And then breath number 3 brings the sound of the breath and the sound of the environment together. And you may have to do that over and over and over again, and that is perfectly okay. Final breath here. Begin to walk your hands back towards your body. Press the fingertips into the mat one last time. Lift up tall. And now we're going to sit down onto that right hip. We're going to swing that left knee around. And we'll stack the knees over one another into cow face posture. So right knee is under the left knee. One day the knees are perfectly stacked. If your knees are not perfectly stacked, that is perfectly okay. If there's a big space, get a block or a blanket or a pillow and put it in between. If there's not as much space, that's fine. If you're comfortable here, maybe take the heel of your wrist into the top of the foot and press the feet backwards. So our half pigeon pose was external rotation of the hip. And our cow face posture is internal rotation of the hip. Inhale. If you're comfortable here and you'd like to take a forward fold, feel free to do so. Really
feeling that stretch. I'm feeling it mostly in my left hip joint right now. You may be different. Find your breath. For 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to move into full pigeon. So that right leg remains on the ground, but now we're going to square up the right shin with the top of the mat, and we'll take the left leg directly over it. So my left knee is over my right foot, and my left foot is over my right knee. My shins are lined up perfectly. Full pigeon. So we went from half pigeon to cow face posture to full pigeon. These are hip openers. Half pigeon, external rotation. Cow face, internal rotation. Full pigeon, external rotation. Really getting great motion in the hips here. Now, if you have a big space between your knee and your foot, you can fill it up with a block or a blanket or a pillow. Took me years to be able to get these, my shins right on top of one another. So if you're not there, that is perfectly okay. This is a journey. The road to paradise is paradise. So enjoy the journey. There is not a specific destination. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be there. Just enjoy and appreciate the pathway of getting there. If you're comfortable here and you'd like to take a forward bend, suck the belly button in to engage your bandhas, and then maybe bring your forearms to the floor. Chest comes to the shins, maybe walking the fingertips out long and taking a forward fold in full pigeon. Finding your mindful meditative breath here. Again, engaging that parasympathetic nervous system, calmness and equanimity for 3, for 2, for 1. Begin to walk the fingertips back. Roll over the knees, step the feet back, find your way into down dog. You can take an optional vinyasa here. I will do one. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. We move to the opposite side. Inhale, left leg lifts tall. We're going to bend that knee and stack the hips. So my left heel is coming towards my right glute. I'm gazing under my right arm to see if I can catch a glimpse of my left foot. Roll the right hip under and the left hip back. And then if you'd like, you can make your way into flip dog. Press the hips towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, find your way back in three-legged down dog with left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to take that left leg through the opening and find our way into fallen triangle. So both legs are straight here. I'm on the outside of my left foot and I'm on the sole of my right foot. Lifting up tall, turning this into a back bend for 3, for 2, for 1. Right arm comes down, left knee comes up. We'll make our way into half pigeon, so we bend that left knee, take the left knee behind the left wrist, left ankle behind the right wrist, extend the right leg out long, stretching that leg out, flattening the foot, tenting the fingertips into your mat, and pressing up tall. Slight back bend. And now, if you'd like, you can plant your right hand, bend the right knee, reach around with the left hand, grab that right foot, bringing that right heel towards the glute for a quadricep stretch here. Again, your heel might not be anywhere close to your glute, and that's okay. For 3, for 2, for 1, slowly release that right foot. Tent the fingertips one last time. And then we'll make our way down into half pigeon on the left. So that left shin is as close to parallel to the top of the mat as possible. Chest comes down. You can fill, if there's a big space between your chest and the floor, you can again fill that with a block or a blanket or a pillow. And I'll extend my arms out long. Forehead or chin or face comes to the floor. And we'll settle in for about 5 or 6 breaths. Feel that left hip opener, external rotation of the left hip, lengthening and stretching of the right quadriceps and right psoas muscle. They're the major muscles of hip flexion. And due to the way our lives typically are with a lot of sitting, the psoas muscle has a tendency to shorten over time. That's why we have a tendency to lean forward when we're standing. So by lengthening and pressing down into that right leg, just opening up that psoas muscle. Inhale. Exhale, we'll begin to walk our fingertips back towards our body. Press down into your fingertips, gaze up one last time. And now begin to sit onto that left hip. Left leg remains under. We'll sweep that right leg around on top. Set ourselves up for cow face posture. Right leg on top of the left. Right knee on top of the left. Again, if you have a lot of room between the knees, feel free to fill that up with block, blanket, or pillow. Internal rotation of the hip joints. Again, if you're comfortable here, take the heels of your wrist, place them into the top of the foot and press the feet behind you and hold. If you're comfortable here and would like to take a forward fold to enhance that stretch even more so, feel free to go there. Begin to sit up tall. We'll now move into full pigeon on the left. So that left shin now becomes parallel to the top of your mat. Right foot over the left knee. Right knee over the left foot. Shins lining up over one another for full pigeon. External rotation of the hip joints. So the hip joint is a ball and socket joint. There's only 2 ball and socket joints in the body, the hip and the shoulder. They move very similar to one another, although the shoulder joint is a little bit more shallow than the hip joint, so the shoulder has a little bit more range of motion. But there's internal rotation, there's external rotation, there's flexion, there's extension, there's circumduction. And we're putting our hips today through each one of those motions, quite a bit on both sides. If you're comfortable here in full pigeon, and you would like to take a forward fold slightly, suck the belly button in, we will begin to lean forward, maybe bringing the forearms to the floor, holding here. For 3, for 2, for 1, make your way up tall. Now let's release the legs. We're going to extend the legs out long. I'll turn here. Extend the legs out long. Palms come to the side of the hips. We're going to press down into our palms, flex the toes back to the nose, and lift your heels only. So the arms are nice and straight here. We're lifting the heels, Dandasana, staff pose. Holding here. Inhale. Exhale, heels come down. Let's take the left leg out to 45 degrees. We're going to bring the right sole of the foot into the inner left thigh. Janusarasana. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, take a slight twist towards the left, and we're going to take a forward fold. You can come to your shin, you can come to your ankle. If you have it in your practice to come to your foot, feel free to do so. Inhale, suck the belly button in, and take your forward fold. If you can get that leg to straighten, feel free to do so. If you can't, that is okay. You can leave it bent as much as you need to. Final breath. Come back up tall. Now we're going to take the right hand to the outside, to the knife edge of the left foot. Trying to keep that leg as straight as possible. Left palm comes to the left hip. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to take a twist, gazing over that left shoulder, maybe binding that left hand, trying to touch the right hip. Feeling that nice stretch in the calf and hamstring. I know I am feeling it. For 3. Take that twist for 2. Inhale, exhale, twist, and back to center. Let's switch out the legs here. Right leg out to 45 degrees. Sole of the left foot into the inner left thigh. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, take a slight twist, and take your forward fold, sucking the belly button in. Again, to engage your bandhas and core, giving yourself some room. Inhale, exhale, fold. With each exhale, you can go deeper. Final breath. Inhale lifts us up tall. We're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right foot, that knife edge. Right palm comes to the right hip. Inhale. Exhale, begin to take your twist. Trying to straighten and lengthen that right leg. Your left arm should be nice and straight here. Maybe that right arm takes a slight bind, touching the left hip. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Really feel that stretch in the back of that right leg. Final breath here. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And find your way back to center. Let's extend both legs out again long. Arm sweep up tall. Suck the belly button in. We started our practice with a forward fold. Let's go there again, and let's maybe see if there's a difference between 50 minutes ago, 55 minutes ago, and now. Arm sweep up tall. Belly button sucks in. Exhale, fold. I know I can get a little bit further here than I did at the beginning. Inhale. Exhale, fold. For 3, for 2, for 1, arms release. Let's bring the knees up into boat pose, Savasana. Hold here. Arms come out wide. And on a count of 5, we will make our way to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You've made it to the floor. Now we began our practice with a happy baby. So let's move back in the happy baby here. Legs come up, knees bent, rocking side to side. How different does this feel from the beginning of our practice? Elbows pressing out on the knees, soles of the feet facing the ceiling, ankles directly over the knees. Inhale. Exhale, pull down. One last hip opener. Now let's bring the arms out to the side and the knees bent. We're going to go into eagle legs. So we're going to take the right leg over the left. If you can cross at the calf, feel free to do so. But if you can't, that's okay. Inhale, exhale, knees go left and gaze goes right. So this gives a little bit additional pressure on the hip joint. Again, if you can't wrap that right foot behind the left calf, that's perfectly okay. Get as close as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to center. We will uncross our legs. Now we'll take the left leg over the right. The left calf comes under the right, the left foot comes under the right calf. Inhale, exhale, we'll take our knees to the right and our gaze to the left. Spinal twist with eagle legs. Final breath here. Inhale, exhale, uncross the legs. Now, should you have any final posture to seal your own personal practice, please feel free to go there. Otherwise, we will begin to make our way into our final posture of today's practice, the most important of all postures, final Savasana. Legs are out long, maybe the heels come together and the toes fall out, arms come to the side, palms facing up, or if you'd like to put the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart, feel free to go there. Give yourself that final Savasana. Honor your body, honor yourself. Your practice consists of 3 components: pranayama, breath, asana, postures, and shavasana, rest, recuperation, regeneration. Your shavasana is just as important as any other part of your yoga practice. Don't slight yourself. Don't cut yourself short. Take your full shavasana. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your legs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your fingers, your hands, your wrists. Relax your arms, shoulders. Relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax your face. Relax your forehead, relax your crown. Relax your mind. Begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. If you'd like to shake your toes and fingers, maybe shake your head yes and no. Coming back. And then if you'd like to extend your arms above your head, clasping your hands together, taking a final stretch. Stretching from the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers. And then when you're ready, make your way onto your right side in fetal position, maybe resting on your right arm. And then making your way to seated position, either easy seated posture, half lotus, or full lotus. Hands come to heart center. In these days of social media and incessant news, we always don't know what to believe, what is true, what is not true. So the Buddha probably said it best. Don't believe everything you read or see or hear from others, whether in authority, religious teachers, or texts. Find out for yourself what is truth, what is real, and you will discover that there are virtuous things and non-virtuous things. Once you discover that for yourself, give up the bad and embrace the good. There is a difference between what we intuitively know is true and what we've been told by others to accept as truth. I encourage you to never stop contemplating the difference. The Buddha. If you would like to join me in a practice sealing Om, feel free to do so. If you choose not to, that is perfectly okay. We'll take one deep inhalation, exhalation, and then a second inhalation and exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we bring our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bow towards one another, the light in me honors the light in each of you. I thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day whenever you are watching this. Peace. See you next time.